Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I guess one line of thinking is that we already have the authority to do it, and by doing this resolution, it just formalizes the process. The other line of thinking is that we can't do what this resolution is saying legally. Is that correct?
That is correct. Now, let me give you a caveat. This resolution is very broad, and it says that that under the current structure of government, all these things can happen. That's incorrect. Now, I've tried to point out that, and Commissioner Briggs makes some very articulate, good arguments for changing the process. All I'm saying is, and I'm not arguing the merits of doing it differently, I'm saying the way you're trying to get to that point is not legal. There is a legal way to do it, but just saying we're going to do it this way from here on out is not the proper process for getting to that point. And you do have the legal authority by resolution to opt from the salary scheme to the quid pro quo. But that doesn't do all of the things. In fact, it does very few of the things that are contained within this resolution.
I guess where I'm going with this is that because we have differences of opinion, are we heading for a legal train wreck? Because the fee offices, from what I've gathered, would obviously challenge this in court. Is there a way to, because if we go ahead and pass this, chances are we're going to find ourselves in court and it being challenged. Now, you would not be able to represent us. Is that correct? You would you represent the fee offices, or would you have to just take yourself out of it entirely?
I would most likely have to, depending on how it was postured, but I can't imagine a way that it would be postured in court that I could represent one party or the other, because I would be representing one of my clients against another client.
So everybody would basically have to get their own attorneys to go forward. The other thing is we could pass it and the fee offices would just agree to do it and say, well, okay, if this is what commission wants, we'll go ahead and do that. That's another possibility. But, you know, again, we don't know. So
I'll just, and I hate to speculate because it comes off sometimes as, well, if you do that, you know, then this will happen. But because of the legal position I've taken, and I've had no discussions with the mayor's office about this or with the mayor, but if this resolution were passed, I would at least make the recommendation that it be vetoed, because I don't believe it's legal. Now, whether the mayor would follow that recommendation or not would be entirely up to the mayor. What I am saying is, if the commission thinks that this is a good idea in terms of how this process is done, then there's a way to initiate a ballot initiative to accomplish that.
I not only think it's a good idea, I think it's a great idea to do exactly what Commissioner Briggs is suggesting. There has to be more accountability. There has to be. And there has to be a way and a means for these fee offices to come under the auspices of this commission. I mean, I think we have to do that. We have to get there. I guess my question is, how do we get there? And if we can get there through a ballot initiative by putting it on the ballot and let the citizens vote in 2010, I'm very willing to take a look at that and to vote in favor of doing that. I guess my other thing is let's say we go ahead and pass this and we do wind up in court, which I'm kind of thinking we are. You're looking at months for it to get through the court process, I would think. Well, by that time, we're going to kind of be in 2010 anyway. So that's why I'm just kind of, I understand where you're coming, Commissioner. I'm in favor of it. We need to do this. I'm just wondering if we can achieve the same thing by having the citizens vote on it. That way, there's no questions of whether it's legal or not, because if we do end up going into court to challenge the legality of this on either side, my sense is we're going to be at election time anyway. So,
Can I make